Some users will have a tiny Tina Wonderlands build with you guys, and for this one we have Geist spam, another new addition to the build document. Geist spam isn't just a single build, it is a whole build archetype where we are using Geist in the shell to do ton of damage with guns. Now there are many versions for this build archetype, there are many multi-classes that can work well and is viable at the end game, but for this video I'm only showcasing Stable Master because it is undoubtedly the best version of this archetype. But if you want to check the other version now, I highly recommend you checking out the build document. Link will be down in the description. Credit to Stone Swan, Sen, Casey Bob and Asian Rune for making this build. Before the video starts though, remember to like, share, sub to the channel if you haven't done that already. Comment down below on what you think about the video. Join the Discord server if you want to get the save file or just want to have a chat with me. With that being said though, let's get into the gear breakdown. For the gun, because we are using Geist in the shell, we are able to use a large variety of gun and most of them will be viable. I picked some really strong gun, meta gun like the Kettle Drum, a Nightshade, very strong, Ruiz Bite, a mobbing monster. Remember to switch to its second firing mode for more damage. Source Explosion is insane, but Revitium, the X5 version 9 mark here is very insane. The Red Hellion can be interesting too. Rastrai can be very strong. It also ricochet. So liquid cooling, a lot of Source Explosion. For the element, you will try to get one of each element to match with the enemy. Brrzerker, sticky, very strong too. There are a lot more options, but these should be the one you should be looking for this build. For the enchant, you want mostly reload restore from the shadow duration. There's a very nice to keep us in from the shadow longer, which allow for more Geist in the shell proc. For the melee weapon, we are using either the Goblin Pickaxe or the Peg Leg. Goblin Pickaxe provide us with spell cooldown and actually skill cooldown rate, which can be really nice. For the heal mod, try to look for Echo Asian if you want to get your from the shadow back fast, and this is generally advised want to get. You can also use a Peg Leg. This will provide you quick reload speed and movement speed, which is nice for a gun build. The element doesn't really matter here. And for the enchant, you want the actual skill active, gain damage like elemental damage, whatever elemental damage you are doing, or damage, gun damage, all that stuff. For shield or the quad, the boy rune is really nice for mobbing. It provides you with a lot of survivability and bonus fight damage. For the path, try to look for health or capacity here. Other options include the spirit runes. It would give you some increase to your lightning damage. It can be nice. It also passively regen shield or when you are standing still, so that can be nice for survivability and allow you to maximize flawless edge uptime. For the amulet, we are mainly using the bubble load because it can double dip when using a crossbow weapon, but you can also use a sacrificial skin for some survivability, a torch for actual skill cooldown rate. For the passive, you would want to find an element that match your weapon or just poison for Geist in the shell. The power, you would want a Blightcaller power because it would buff the Geist in the shell. For the actual passive here, you want all damage, preferably, or some gunfire rate or gun reload speed, but all damage is what you want. For the spell, you would want to use a fortifying sigil. It will provide you with increased damage or any spammy spell in order to proc the spell card enchant a lot. For the arm, we are mainly using the mosquito mantle here in order to get bonus element whenever we crit, which is very nice. Try to look for a Blightcaller spell shotgun because it provides you point into Geist in the shell, which you want to find the most amount of. For passive, try to get area damage or damage, movement speed, gun damage, stuff like that. Other than that, you can also use the corrupted plate mail. It would convert a portion of your damage into dark magic damage, and this dark magic like count at a double proc, which means you are double the chance of you getting Geist in the shell. Allow for more damage consistency, but generally you would mainly want to farm for the passive or the skills. So like It doesn't matter what the actual ability of the armor is doing. What you want the as much point into Geist in the shell and some really decent passive that I have listed. So try to farm for passive, not ability. A rule of thumb when playing this game. For the ring, we are mainly using Sharkbane because it provides you most amount of gun damage for rings, up to 52.6%. For the passive, you would want ability crit damage. It would actually improve your guy in the shell damage if it crit, which it can. Some gun damage type crit damage is nice too. As you can see, avoid like gun crit chance because it doesn't do anything at all. Use the skill tree. We start with 3 points into haste for some movement speed and melee attack speed. Then 2 points to potent poison in order to move down the skill tree. 5 points to swift death for some all damage. 3 points to exploit the weakness for some pure mode in this build in particular, which is really nice for our damage formula. Nimble finger for some fire rate, and elusive is so that we can shoot and sprint at the same time. Very nice utility. Guy in the shell, we put 5 points into this because it is the whole point of this build. Guy in the shell, if you don't know, is a double dipping skill, which means it is reapplying the damage formula one more time, making Guy in the shell proc to ton of damage. With Meow or some word restoration, which is nice for flawless, and which states that you can increase all damage the fuller your quad E, which is really nice, and work out with the spirit rune. Hack Machina for some fire rate, Bog Down for soaking, which is nice. Arm Up for what restoration, movement speed, and overall just synergize really well with Foliage Edge, and obviously it provides you with survivability. Burn Offering E for some gun damage and spell cooldown rate. Toxicity for crit damage, action skill cooldown rate. The companion damage doesn't do much in this build. And Spirit Swarm is another double dip, but we aren't building into it that much. It's just really nice for some mob situation and can kill some bosses on its own because it's just insane. But this isn't the point of the build, so we aren't building that much into this. It's just 3 points. For the hero point, we are maxing out strength and constitution. Obviously, we are using the villager idiot background. The rest of the points, you can go anywhere you want, and I'm choosing a toolman here for some action skill cooldown rate. For the playstyle, this build, it is very simple, especially in the Starbomancer version. You would just want to go into from the shadow and then shoot at enemy. Try to time your reload so you get the maximum value out of your duration enchantment, and try to aim as much as possible, because if you miss, obviously you are going to lose a lot of damage. That is the only caution you need to have for this build. It is very easy to pilot and it do ton of damage. So if you are a beginner, I highly recommend you check this build out. Again, remember to check the build document for other version of other multi-classes. They are also strong, great, because it guides the shell. Guides the shell is just unbalanced. So that is it. Hope you find this video useful. If you did, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. Comment down below on what you think. Join the Discord server, and see you guys next time.